Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how I make coin on Crossout and play for free. The first thing I do is I go in and I check on my daily challenges, see what I have to do here. As you can see, I have 4 of them here. I had 6. If you want to see what challenge you've completed or what you got after you completed the challenge, you can come up here to the notification center, click on it, and it'll show you what you have. So the first one is uh, give a like mark on the game center. That's easy enough to do. If you want to see where that is, we can go to the map, we can go to the game center, and then like I said, you just do 3 likes on this here. That's a completed challenge. So we'll go back to our notification center, and then you can see the other one that it asked to do was craft any part on the workbench, and you get scrap each time you do one of these challenges. And you can see what I did. I went in and I made I did a shotgun. So we'll go over to workbench, I go to engineer, and then I find one of the common weapons that I don't have a lot of, and as you can see, it only takes 30 scrap and 6 pieces of copper to make it, so that's simple to do. And then when you do make this item, you can use it for crafting, or you can turn around and sell it on the market. Plus, you get the scrap on top of it as well. And then once you get 100 scrap, you can sell the scrap if you feel a need to. I usually keep my scrap and my copper. The only thing I usually sell is my plastic because I'm still at a lower range. This power score on this vehicle here, I think, is a little over 7. It's right at 7,000 because I swapped the gun out. It's usually around 75, I think, 76. But I had to swap this out because I got to use that going into my raids because it wants an uncategorized weapon. So I'm using Emily. So another thing is, we'll go back up here to our challenges. When you do missions, a lot of people go in and do the PvE missions because it's easier to win back to back, and it's a lot quicker to get this done. So you're not spending so much time on doing what they ask you to do and doing more what you want. So this would be the third one, and then once I get that done, it'll say 3 completed, and it'll give me 15 scrap as well. And then that'll reset over to the second stage, and then we'll just do 3 challenges again, 3 daily challenges again, which once we do these 3 here, that'll complete that. So like I said, this one I'll go in and do the PvE. This one here, I'll do that in raids while I'm using my shield. And then this one here is just put a weapon on that they asked to put on your vehicle. And like I said, today is uncategorized. That's why I switched out for the Emily instead of the energy weapons. And once I get this complete, it'll come up again, and then I'll complete it again. But you can do all this one in raids, and you'll complete all this in raids just using your 200 fuel that you get every day. So we'll go back, and you can see here I got 200 liters of fuel, got 3 hours and 40 minutes to use it, and then it'll reset to 200 again. I'll be able to do it again. What I do, I'll go to my map. When you first start out, you're going to be doing this raid because you got to have a power score of 4,000 to do the normal raids. And of course you get a lot more copper on this one than what you will on here. And this one here gives plastic, but you have to have a 4,000 power score, which doesn't take very long to build a 4,000 power score, especially if you're doing your daily challenges and earning the scrap. And it'll also give you parts for whatever faction. Once you get up to a certain point of that faction, it'll give you parts as well, so it'll be easier to build something that's a 4,000 power score anyway. But what I do is I go in and I do the plastic raids almost every single time. If I get a little bit low on copper, I'll go over and do it, but most of the time I'm always just doing the plastic. And I'll show you here on the market my history. As you can see, it was up a little bit. It was $32 for every 100. I've still got almost 600 left in storage. But as you can see, this is how I make a lot of my money, is going in, using that free fuel, doing those raids, and then earning this plastic. And as you can see, if I go down here, it was up to $34 here. So right here was $68 just for these two, not counting the 10% they take out. And then 32 for these. Usually it'll run about $28, $29, but I usually set on it until it gets up to around 32 or above, and then I'll sell. And like I said, you can see that I've made quite a bit just off selling the plastic, and that's just one avenue I use to make the coin. So like I said, you're going to want to do your daily challenges, check these every day, make sure you complete them all. Once you complete the 6, like I said, it'll do stage 2, so you'll have more to do still. And then also make sure you go into raids and use your 200 fuel on the raids every day. If I see there's an interest in people wanting to know more about this, I'll do more videos on it. Otherwise, this will probably be it. But make sure you go in and use your fuel and do your daily challenges. I know a lot of players that don't do these at all, or don't use their fuel in the raids, and it's just kind of a waste. If you're going to play for free, it's kind of a necessity to be able to do these things so you can advance. So yeah, if you got any questions, let me know in the comments, and until next time, have a good one.